How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Hardware. So today we're going to take a look at the CX2 from Team Group, which is one of their newer, more budget-friendly SATA SSDs that would be a nice upgrade from your standard, just boring mechanical hard drive. Now, a big shout out to Big Ski South Africa for sending over the CX2 and also some of the other products that we're going to take a look at later for all of our videos. Now, currently you do get the CX1 and then also the CX2 models. And specs-wise, they're pretty much exactly the same, except the CX2s are available in a bit larger sizes. So 256 and the CX1 so 240, around there. However, I'm not entirely certain about the performance comparisons, as again, we don't have a CX1 to take a look at, but from everything that we've seen, they should pretty much be exactly the same. Now, as for cost-wise, I wasn't able to find a US pricing for any of these, unfortunately. But again, they're a bit more of the budget variants. For here in South Africa, they do range between 1,000 Rand to 3,600 Rand, which does put them right in between a couple of other more budget-related SSDs. So you do have a 256 gig version for the CX2. Unfortunately, they're not available in South Africa yet, but the 500 gig is retailing for around 1,000 Rand, the 1 terabyte is around 2,000 Rand, and the 2 terabyte, which again we have here, is retailing for around 3,600 Rand, which isn't bad at all. Now, the CX2 SSDs do feature SLC NAND flash with a 3-year warranty and a 1 million hour MTBF, which means for a mean time between failures. The CX2 also features a wear leveling technology and ECC, error correcting code, for a better reliability and a longer lifespan. So it does so far sound like it's a pretty good new SSD for the market, for more of the budget related ones, but how will it perform? So let's get into the benchmarks just right after this. Looking for a VPN but want to pay less and get even more features? Well, Surfshark is the VPN to get. I've been using them for more than a year now and I'm definitely not disappointed. Surfshark has over 3,200 servers across the globe with limited speed drops, unlike some others. Get all the standard advantages of a VPN, like no geo restrictions to access US and Netflix from different countries, no government restrictions on news, and get better prices on flights, games, and software. Not only that, but Surfshark features industry-leading encryption, multi-hopping for a next-level privacy, a kill switch to prevent any personal info from being leaked, and one of my favorite features, unlimited devices. So you can use a single Surfshark account for the entire family and on every single device without the need to pay more. So follow my link up below to save 83% on a 2-year plan with also 3 months absolutely free. Try it out, and if you don't like it, you also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So go check out Surfshark VPN. Now, as for the benchmarks, we are going to compare the CX2 to some of the other SATA SSDs that we have tested before, and for fun, a couple of PCI Express 3 and 4 NVMe SSDs, although don't expect them to be close to this one. Also, something to keep in mind is that the 2 terabyte model that we have here is the fastest out of the other ones. These SATAs do differ in speeds between capacities, so just keep that in mind. The 256 gig will be the slowest out of all of them, but by a small margin. So then for all of the benchmarks, we did do all of the standards like a crystal disk, ASSD, and a TTO, and a couple of other benchmarks as well. So we'll just throw up all of them right here for just how it performed individually, and then we're going to compare it to some of the other SSDs again. So then starting off with sequentials, read and write, the CX2 was one of the slowest SATA drives, writes of 512 megabytes a second and writes of 555 megabytes a second. But the margins were very close to each other because, of course, they're all SATA SSDs. As for a random read and writes, the CX2 was a second slowest with a writes of 233 megabytes a second and reads of 218 megabytes a second, which is also about 55% slower than the fastest SATA SSD that we have have tested before. So as we can see, the CX2 doesn't perform that great in randoms, being a lost or close to a lost in most of the tests. Then next up for access times, we did find it a bit weird here. We did use the SSDs built-in access time tool, and from what we could see is that it was actually the slowest out of everything that we've tested. So it didn't feel necessarily that slow because it's, again, quite quick, but it does take a bit longer than some of the other SSDs that we have taken a look at before. And then next up for our file transfer test, for our large copy test, we did make a Steam backup of just over 100 gigabytes and made a duplicate on the same drive, and then also vice versa in between as well. Now, we weren't able to do this on all of the drives, but we did do the duplicate test on all of the drives. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, the CX2 was the second fastest by far, completing it in 8 minutes and 48 seconds and for the duplicate test, whereas the fastest was the WD Blues 1 terabyte at almost 8 minutes exactly, so not bad. Now, we did also do a smaller file copy test where we took a 38 gig Steam backup. So for the duplicate test, that took around 2 minutes and 46 seconds. For the copy from test was 1 minute and 29 seconds. And lastly was the copy to test, which took 1 minute and 8 seconds, being slightly faster than the Muskin source SSDs that we have tested a while back. So then in the end, we can see that the Team Group CX2 is a rather average speed SSD. Performance is decent, but nothing groundbreaking. And the 3-year warranty is decent, but there's also some other SSDs that do have longer warranties. And the 1 million hour life cycle is also fairly decent. But again, there are some other SSDs that do have much longer life cycles as well. For instance, the Samsung 860 EVO is rated to 2.5 million hours, but the CX2 does fall right in the middle of most of the SSDs that we have seen so far. Now, I was quite impressed that the cache did a good job, not losing any speeds with our big 100 gig file test. It was actually very consistent and one of the better performing drives that we have tested. So some of the other ones, they do slow down after a long copy test, so the CX2 didn't have that problem. The CX2 is also just a nice, decent SSD depending on the size you go for. This could be a good option if you are upgrading a laptop from a normal hard drive for SSD, or if you just want to upgrade your normal storage in your PC to have a bit of faster storage, and that is where a nice 2 terabyte like this one would come in handy quite nicely. So yeah, nice mid-range SSD that you can take a look at. Not crazy fast, but also not too expensive. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our review of the CX2 from a Team Group. If you guys enjoyed this review, please like, share, comment like always. Big shout out again to Big Ski South Africa for sending it over for review. And if you guys want to see more of these, let me know down in the comments below, or let me even know what SSDs you guys are rocking down there. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I will check all of you next time. Cheers guys.